Hello everybody, I realized I never did an actual lore explanation vid, so for the first time, big video with lore stuff. Huzzah! Now where's my fucking script? Oh, there we go. Recording. So for my timeline, it's not fully made. I'll have an image of it up, which I'm realizing I should have put images before it. I'll have lots of editing and random me cutting in probably for this, because I have a very vague script. So what happened before the central apocalypse? It was pretty much, as you can imagine, all the corporations and politics are getting even messier than previously. There was wars and threatening and viruses and global warming and all of the problems. There's also a company called Soul Corp. They will be important, maybe related to our favorite little gay boys. There's a zombie virus I haven't read at the tip of the apocalypse, which I will explain further probably in its own video, because it's very hard to explain. I'll probably have a small section for it. There's war, of course, and it's futuristic. I'm thinking it starts right at the beginning of the 3000s. Part 3, why is it? I don't know. After the apocalypse, kind of where we are now, it's 40 years about exactly after the apocalypse itself, when our characters are starting to meet and the main timeline is happening. There are, for culture and civilization, there are tribes and bandit gangs and the classic apocalypse stuff. There are monsters like giant bug things and zombies, and of course there are roided up mutants and experiments everywhere and attempts at super soldiers, most failed or botched in some way. And tech. There's all kinds of insane stuff, pretty much. Not a lot of rules, there's no magic, and nothing completely insane. It's whatever I want, but I want certain things for this. The cast of characters, we've got Dren Kacher, which is a weird pronunciation, I made it up, who is a psycho brute berserker guy. He's more sane now after he met his girlfriend, Lenny. It's a dumb name for a girl. I'm realizing it's more of a boy's name, but that doesn't really matter, I guess. Is that sexist? Fuck. Pretend I didn't say that, but Lenny, or Len, most people call it Cregan, and who she thought her, and she's an explosive girl. She makes bombs and guns and stuff and is chaotic. Her dad, Lance, who is pretty much Puss in Boots. Puss in Boots and Han Solo. And I had another character. I don't fucking know, man. Vin, who is a half zombie. She's one of the rare chances of full symbiotic relationship with the infection. Her sister, Ara, who's just... They had a very bad upbringing. Very strict and old-fashioned rich people parents, if you know what I mean. Then there's Ravage, who cyborg goofball super soldier, who's got some kind of weird PTSD, DID, multiple personality situation that I am still trying to explain in a proper way that's not insulting to actual people with those disabilities. His now but not always boyfriend, not previously boyfriend, Predator, who is pretty much like that except without the multi-personality, and not to goober. He is a massive sadist and was originally written actually as a bad guy character. He was a villain. 4 minutes only? Okay, this is going well. Rylan, who is a future version of one of those the same Soul Corp. newest character, which I don't think I've even... Hello, editing Pyro here. I never talked about Ryland's dad in the original, so he's like the first ever biological experiment by Soulcorp. And he's like 15 something odd feet tall, so when posted on at the time of recording this. No, I posted some sketches just a few days ago. That would make more sense. Delilah or Della Clawher, who is Dren's long lost sister. Verena Still, she's a badass old woman who was like Lance born before the apocalypse, and was the only people to single-handedly kill one of the cyborg super soldiers there, the kind of ravaged predator. Craggle, psychotic gladiator guy with very slight augmentations and a giant gauntlet and giant boots and a giant cleaver sword. He's insane, badass, and based off of multiple things I probably shouldn't say because copyright. Rend, like the tearing something apart, is a modified mutant guy or person who, yeah. And there's the other guy that I'm still recreating their character. They're just going around the wasteland meeting, and I haven't really written out the central story, but they're like fighting random bandits and marauders and trading and surviving and chilling out and shooting at bad guys. And overall, they're one of the more morally acceptable or good peoples out there. Some villains that will be reoccurring probably for some. Rain, giant robot who fancies himself a king. One of the few groups of robots that's fully evil, or at least he is fully evil, or thinks he is. He tries to be. He's kind of not good at it. I don't want to say failure, because that's could be deprecating to other people somehow. No one's a failure, not really, unless you're like actually a bad person. I don't know. That got philosophical for some reason. Vin and Ara's parents. I have a meme in mind that I'll probably put in that part of the recording. There's another scientist guy who created Rend and some other mutants, and he's going to be like a sub-villain. And Noel Arak, the previous, or the current, well, the owner of Soulcorp. And, yeah. No spoilers, he's evil. That was supposed to be way more vague and menacing. That did not. There's also a giant... There's zombie super soldiers, because using the zombie infection, people have been trying to use its healing properties and its psychic, almost, not quite, but like brain powers and healing properties and strength and whatnot to create super soldiers, and none of them are quite what they wanted, but there are a few that might be notable. And I'll probably have more yapping as I go through this, editing it and putting in speed paints and whatnot. But overall, that's about it. I do want to make a Q&A. Please ask questions in the comments. I might answer them in the comments and add them in the Q&A. Ask them for the characters. I don't have all the voice acting, so I will, even if I can't get female voice actors for more female voiced characters, I will do my best. I'm not good at female. I can get the closest to how they would be. And I'll probably voice most of the male characters because I like how I do them. There's some that I would probably, if this ever gets me into like a show or game, that wouldn't be me. But like, yeah, my voice is all deep. Oh yeah, Drift. And do you guys want? I'm probably gonna make a zombie, in-depth zombie explanation on how they work, and if you want slightly more in-depth explanations of individual characters, please ask in the comments. I am unsure what my plans are. I really thought this video was going to be a lot longer, so I might have to post some of the speed paints separately. So if those are out, please go check them out. I'll probably have speed paints going while I yap about this. And any other ideas, questions, or comments, or anything, please. I am I really like answering comments because social interaction with people that are actually things I like. So, yeah. One more thing, I gotta give some credit to Milo Rossi, because I watch his videos in the background while I draw. It's pretty cool stuff, and I'm gonna add him in the comments and see if he reacts, because that'd be funny as fucking hell, and he seems like the kind of guy who'd find that hilarious. Go check him out, I suppose, because I've mentioned him. Bye-bye.